Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back once again. Today I got a little Comic Con-ish haul for you. It's the Comic and Card event that took place last 2 weekends ago, I guess. And this weekend I have SpringCon, which I'm crossing my fingers I can go. I do have to go to my cousin's wedding. And the other week was kind of hectic at work, so I'm not getting a huge paycheck there. So if I do go, I'm probably not going to buy too many books, but whatever. Yeah, but whatever. Let's do this. First off, I got a grab bag. So did my brother. My brother just gave me the content of his as well. And first off, Worlds Unite Sonic Boom #2. So Sonic meets Mega Man. Two of my favorite video game franchises teaming up. So this should be interesting. Yeah, I haven't read this before, but it sounds like something that'd be kind of something fun just to read. Something called Hero Cats. Whatever. And then Divergence DC #1. I didn't get this last free comic book day. I'm wondering if this is just previews or if this is like a mini comic or something. I don't know. Whatever. Should be cool, but kind of already irrelevant despite the fact that was like less than a year ago or something. Green Lantern Renegade #41. Or Green Lantern #41 Renegade. $5 issue, so getting it for free should be pretty cool. This is when he had his Green Lantern gauntlet. I don't know if he's back to normal on that. But I haven't read any of this, so that should be kind of cool. Alright, next off. 4-Star Spectacular. This was something like $1. I think actually there was like 15 books for $10 sale thing that I went for. So I got this as one of my books. Just kind of a cool giant book, I'm guessing from the 81 will be my guess. 77, so earlier than I thought. Nice little Bronze Age book. Next off, another one in that with that 15 for 10 deal. Adventures into the Unknown, AGG. I'm guessing this is a later AGG, but I do have a decent amount of their kind of horror sci-fi books reprinted. I actually got those in Chicago at the Chicago Art Museum, had them on sale. Oh, this is a 12-cent issue, so it is earlier. But this looks like some sort of like superhero character versus a squid monster. So for a couple, 75 cents, I got it. Next off, I was just kind of looking for some extra issues from the dollar bins that I could kind of round out my collection with. So I picked up some Justice League. I picked up Justice League 193, featuring the All-Star Squadron, 207 versus the Crime Syndicate, and featuring Justice League, All-Star Squadron, and Justice Society. So that's super cool. And 208. Did I put these in reverse? No, I'm doing it right. 208. And then 209. So that's pretty cool. Just a little Justice League run I got there for a few bucks. Not too bad. Next off from that same bin, I got All-Star Comics with the Super Squad, or with the Super Squad. I'm guessing that's what became the All-Star Squadron, maybe? Huh. I don't know, but that's pretty early on for the old Justice Society books, so that's kind of cool. Kind of early on before we started seeing like the full resurgence in like the 90s. Next off is Black Hawk 187, 12-cent issue, but again, I got this for something like 87 cents. I just picked up all the Silver Age, Marvel, and DC comics in there. I do have a few Black Hawk issues, not something I actively collect, but it's kind of something cool to get, like the Sergeant Fury and his Commando books, which was a random example, but speaking of, Sergeant Furious Howling Commandos number 48. Awesome cover. Kind of got the Nazis on one wall and the All-Star Squadron on the other wall. Kind of like the Flash. I don't get what a lot of covers in the Silver Age kind of had that wall division, but I don't know. That's cool. Seems like a crazy awesome issue. Love these Howling Commandos, and not in terrible shape for the 70 cents I bought. It's poor, but it's definitely worth it. This is another one that I got for the 10 for 15 deal. Just something cool to read. I love collecting these crossovers, especially Marvel, like the Cross Company crossovers, especially Marvel DC ones are awesome. So Green Lantern and Silver Surfer should be an insane matchup, so that's exciting. Plus it's a decently thick read for the pennies I paid for it. This one was half off the marked price, so it was pretty much a mint condition Flash #1 from the new series for $2. Definitely worth it. I've been kind of looking for this book. Not seriously looking for it, but you know, I kind of had my eye out for it, so definitely something I'm pumped about. I'm going to try and get that sticky note out of there real fast, probably after this video, but cool cover. Actually, I don't want to obscure the cover for you guys. I should have done this crap beforehand. I guess I just wanted to remember the price, but I could have stuck them to the front or something. And let's see. Yeah, definitely a beautiful copy. Taking it out and getting it in hand. I don't think I took it out at all until now, so super pumped to read this. The kind of 80s, 90s Flash run starting in 87, I believe. I think it went till Barry came back, maybe that long, maybe not. Maybe got rebooted before that, but it lasted quite a while. Next off, I'm going to be careful with this one. Adventure Comics 359. Pretty cool cover. Lately I've been getting a lot of Silver Age Superman books. Before that I didn't have many. But Adventure Comics is one of the ones, kind of like World's Finest, that are kind of cheaper to find a lot of bulk issues of for the Silver Age. So I do have a decent collection of those. Legion of Superheroes and Superboy working together is always badass. Later Adventure Comics, Bronze Age one with Aquaman. Gotta love any book that stars Aquaman, especially I really like his old school, I guess modern version too, where he's got the old blonde hair, short. And honestly, I would love to see an Aquaman TV series where he had that type of look. Next off, Crisis on Infinite Earths #7. This was also in the 10 for 15 deal. They had quite a few of them, but I thought I'd save the rest for others. I was actually originally, he had one marked for $4 that was in the half off bin, and then there was also that I was going to buy, and then there was like 2 or 3 copies of this one for less than $1. I could have picked up all of them, probably flipped them for a little more money, but I thought I'd be nice and save them for the rest. It was a cool convention find for sure. Gosh, The Death of Supergirl, it's one I have always wanted. Great George Perez cover. Can't beat something like that. That's a very awesome cover. And next Superman, number 238, kind of a Bronze Age, early Bronze Age, kind of Silver Age transition area. Gotta love these covers versus Sand Superman. The reason this actually really caught my eye, and I got this for $2, I think, half off, and the reason this really caught my eye is I actually heard a story about the Sand Superman coming back in the 90s, and it's kind of a fan theory that Superman was dead in the 90s and replaced with Sand Superman, which I thought was kind of an interesting theory. Saw a video on it. I think it was Comic Misconceptions or something like that. I'm actually subscribed to them and I watch them from time to time. I just hope that was the exact right username. I kind of just click the videos as I see them. So hopefully I gave them the right shout out. If not, those are some interesting videos. Another one that's kind of interesting, similar to that, Comic Book Urban Legends Revealed. Not a video series, but a reading series on it's not Comic Vine, it's one of those comic sites. I don't know. Just look up comic book urban legends revealed. I happened to find his book on at half price too. The full length book for the comic book urban legends, which was cool. But just kind of some cool comic book fandom things to look at. Outside of the realm of the stories and the or kind of in the realm of the stories, I guess, and kind of just looking at weird things within comics, I guess, is those are two good shows and whatever columns to look at. So next off, this one was, I want to say, was this at Source? Yeah, this was at Source. I got this one at Source for $3. Action Comics $3.64. My buddy just started picking up comics. I've been getting people into comics from time to time. He's really into Superman comics, so he was looking through them, and he doesn't like collecting that many Silver Age right now. He's kind of trying to collect the Dan Jurgens run of like Death of Superman, Reign of Superman, kind of as a starting point before he starts going older school. So I've been offering him some good old Superman that he could buy, but he didn't want him, so I snatched him out. This is crazy cool, like a Superman becoming kryptonite, or Superman's last words, and he's becoming Kryptonian leprosy, which is gonna like kind of show something that makes him kind of kryptonite-ish. Kind of looks like a cool, interesting cover. Next up, Superman number 307. Another 78-cent issue or something like that, or whatever 10 for 15 is, against Solomon Grundy. Kind of the old school Solomon Grundy, before he kind of looked like a real zombie. Kind of looks like a Scooby-Doo zombie or something, but sweet looking cover anyways. Nice little action cover, and definitely trying to improve all my Superman collections. Speaking of Superman collections, I'm always finding the world's finest issues I need to fill in the gaps with. I've got a fat World's Finest run. I love it so much. World's Finest 152. We got the Colossal Kids, which are kids with Superman and Batman powers, or maybe they're just Batman powers. I don't know. Looks pretty badass. You got a lot of these kind of strange covers with World's Finest, which captures a lot of what I love about the Silver Age, and that's why I always pick up these World's Finest covers. That was $2, half off. This one was 10 for 15. Superman, and it kind of reprints the early World's Finest, early Superman's first time Superman and Batman meet and learn each other's secret identities, and the origin of the Batman-Superman team-up. Definitely a cool read. Cool reprints packed into an old school World's Finest cover. I love it. Next off, this was $2 at Source. We got an old school Jimmy Olsen number 40. I always love these old Jimmy Olsen covers. Another Superman series I have a lot of books from, and it's usually Superman doing something douchey to Jimmy Olsen, which I think is pretty funny. Superman seems to be like turning him invisible, or Superman accidentally turns him invisible. Why is Superman doing his experiments on Jimmy Olsen? You'd think that'd be pretty dangerous and kind of a douchey thing to do to your pal, arguably your best friend. So I don't know. At least you didn't get horribly executed like Man of Steel. This one was $2.50. Green Lantern, Green Arrow 82. I am like 90% sure I bought this at last year's Spring Con. This is in pretty bad condition. Regardless, this run is something that I'll pick up pretty much no matter what. This one was under $3, so even if I do have it, at the off chance I don't, or the off chance this is a slight upgrade, even though it's just the shittiest condition, I picked it up anyways. Plus, I love this cover. So, for $2.50, I'm not complaining. It actually looks like it got bent a little bit at some point. And I believe these people actually bought the stock from the company that had Twin Cities Comics, which was an old store. Or they had some of the stock, because I saw one of their ones with the old stickers for a few of them. Next off, Wolverine number 1. I got this for something like $5. This was an eBay pickup. And Wolverine number 1, this book is kind of expensive once you get into the the upper grade range. And this is a book I was looking at actually when Twin Cities Comics was opening, or was open. I would always look at it. It kind of sat on the shelf. I don't remember what price they had on it. It was a pretty good CGC, and I actually think for the condition, it was a decent price. And it's always kind of a cover I've wanted. I've never been the biggest Wolverine fan, to be honest. It's kind of like Iron Man, where I'm a Wolverine fan, I'm an Iron Man fan, I'll pick up their stuff. But I'm not willing to shell out the huge dollars like I would for Flash, Green Lantern, Batman. I've always been like a huge DC fan, and then Spider-Man, Captain America are my favorites from Marvel by far. Hulk is badass too, but Wolverine and Iron Man I've always liked a lot, but I've never been really willing to shell out big bucks. So I saw this poor one, which, I mean, honestly, the main part of the cover is intact that I really care about. This part, you know, it's kind of chewed up, but for the price, you know, it's not in the worst condition. So I ended up picking it up for like something like $3. I bid on it. I put like a $5 bid on it with $2, $3 shipping, and I was like, I'll pay maybe up to $10 if I, you know, feel like it later. Don't see anything cool. I kind of started out low. And then I kind of just won it, and I was like, oh, cool. So it's definitely a book I've wanted. Definitely is cool, because I have a huge Wolverine run. From a lot of lots, I'll get Wolverine and stuff, or quarter issues, or just kind of things I've accumulated over the years. So I do have a big Wolverine run, and it'll be awesome to kind of have the start of that. So awesome. Kind of an iconic cover, I think, too. Kind of underrated, kind of iconic at the same time. Give me a brief second on this one. I just want to take the sticky note out. It was from the same dealer that I bought the Flash from. So this is actually Fantastic Four number 32. Split down the top cover, unfortunately. However, I got this for $2. So, I mean, for the price, definitely early Fantastic Four. And I'm not a huge fan of Fantastic Four. That's another one that people kind of have it has a huge fan base. Although, unfortunately, I think it's kind of declined over the years, especially since like the movies and stuff. But Fantastic Four is definitely, the old covers for Fantastic Four are some of my favorite of the Silver Age in general, not just Marvel, but DC everywhere. So these early Fantastic Four covers I love. I love Sue Storm's early design. I love the Human Torch's early design. Reed Richards and The Thing didn't change that much, but obviously the art is just so appealing to Jack Kirby. So definitely something that if I can find the early issues for, I'll definitely pick up because they're beautiful. But, you know, I'm not a huge fan of Fantastic Four past like the Silver Age Fantastic Four. Once Jack Kirby's run's done, I normally don't even really look at those issues too much. I don't know a ton about Fantastic Four, but Fantastic Four, you know, the early ones like this are definitely things I want. And I think I actually might have bid on this coverless at one point, put it like up to like a $5 or $6 bid and didn't win it. So, I mean, to get it with the main image intact, obviously I'm missing that. Like I said before, I'm kind of the bargain collector just because I don't make a ton of money right now, and obviously I have college and rent coming up and shit, so gotta be saving for that. But that's not a bad deal for $2. I can definitely shell out that type of cash. Another kind of decapitated Marvel book, sadly. Number 44 or number 45, Amazing Spider-Man. I paid $5 for this. Second or third Lizard, pretty early on Lizard cover, versus Spider-Man. And honestly, the early Spider-Man covers, Ditko Romita covers, I mean, it's the same thing with the early Fantastic Four covers. They're just super appealing. Amazing Spider-Man's a book I really love because I've always been a huge Spider-Man fan. I wouldn't be into comics today if it wasn't for Spider-Man, and probably that Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire got me huge into comics as a kid, and reading the old reprints and those Marvel Age ones that were coming out in the early 2000s when I was a lot younger. But definitely a beautiful cover. These are super appealing to me. $5 issue. So for that price, I can't complain. And yeah, I mean it's got the image intact and it looks nice. Speaking of early Amazing Spider-Mans, next off, Amazing Spider-Man 66, double bagged so it feels nice and, or double boarded so it feels nice and sturdy. Mysterio cover, I love Mysterio. Mysterio is my favorite Spider-Man villain probably. I love Mysterio. So this cover is one of the most iconic. I would say this is probably one of the most iconic Mysterio covers ever. Even over his first appearance and things, but beautiful cover. I love this cover. So for $6, I couldn't pass it up. Issue 66, Illuminati. But I love that cover. And then later on, $1 right here. Some of these were I found some of these half off Spider-Man issues, and most of these were all from one dealer. So shout out to him. I wish I kept the pan flip for his store because he's opening a new store soon, so I kind of feel like a douche because I would have liked to advertise that for him because he's got a lot of good books that he brought to the convention. I can imagine his store is going to be awesome, and I'm going to go to it. I probably just tossed it over there somewhere, but I can't find it. But I think all but those 2 Spider-Man books and one other book I bought from that other vendor was from the one guy. He had the 10 for 15 or the 15 for 10 sale, as well as a half off for certain issues, and the final issue I'm going to show you was full price, but I'm cool with it. Amazing Spider-Man 170, kind of cool, just 70s 70s Spider-Man for $1, so I was just going to pick up his little run of that. Next off we have 180 against the Green Goblin, Climax against the imposter Green Goblin. Awesome. And 184, Marvel's TV sensation. That was $1.50, but whatever. And this one was another 10 for 15 or 15 for 10 book. Detective Comics with Elongated Man. Awesome. So, and then that brings me to my final book of the day. Kind of a grail here. Batman 39. Man, I love these Silver Age book or these Golden Age books. Obviously, I'm at a budget, but had to get this. I don't even know what really to say about this book. It's one of the early Batman books. Not only a Batman book, but a Christmas special, which is awesome. I didn't pay $50 for it. I paid near $50, but not quite $50. I did negotiate the price down as much as he'd let me. He worked with me a bit on the book, but I mean, it's Batman 39. I mean, this will be my earliest Batman book. I love getting these early keys, and something like Batman 39, you just don't come across every day for a decent price. So rare, but the problem is kind of beat up, obviously, so I'm probably just going to end up keeping it in this bin it's in. I don't know. Actually, below, if you want to say if it would be better to leave it in this, because this is what he had all of his expensive issues in, which is kind of nice because then I can look at the ads on back. Really beat up, but if it would be better to carefully move this out of there and perhaps move it into a Golden Age bag, which I have plenty of, but just a beautiful issue. The guy had a big collection of books, some rare books I've never seen before that are iconic covers. I guess he had a friend or maybe like a business partner or something who died and had a big collection worth millions of dollars or something, or a couple million or something like that, and he had lots of big books, lots of big keys. So I ended up getting a piece of that collection, although kind of a beat up piece of the collection. It's just a beautiful piece of Batman history, long before the days of a lot of the stuff we've seen now. So just seeing this, yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm super proud of this book. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry about rambling a little bit between issues. I do think I got a pretty good haul. I ended up, because of this, I paid nearly $100, but before that, I think I paid something like $40 for all those issues that you saw before, 40 or $50, and then with this was like 45. But I brought 100 cash in, and I left with like something like $20 to spare or something, just about 20, probably like 15, $16 to spare. So I mean, honestly, not too bad of a haul. A lot of cool books. And yeah, if you're watching through this whole video and you have a suggestion whether a bag and board would be better for this or keep it in this, or maybe should I go to Source and try and pick up some Mylar gold, like a Mylar Golden Age bag and a board, because I do have a lot of boards over there for Silver or Gold Age. I do want whatever the best protection would be for this. Without going the CGC route, I don't really like to CGC my books. I do have a couple CGC books, but those are mostly books I bought, and third party I'll buy CGC. But when I get a book, I've thought about CGC in my first experience of Batgirl before, but that's not something I'm really into. Plus, it's such a low grade book. It's kind of just put together that I don't know if it's entirely worth it, but definitely a beautiful piece of Batman history. Definitely. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Comment and tell me what you think about this. Tell me what you think about whatever. I'll be at SpringCon, hopefully, crossing my fingers. Saturday is not going to happen. That's what my cousin's actual wedding is. But depending when I end up leaving on Sunday, depending how much I'm going to hang out with my family afterwards and whatever, I'm hoping to get to SpringCon for a couple hours. Maybe spend like $50 there or something. So let me know if you're going to be there. Let me know what you think about this book. I'm going to upload my last comic haul. I had some camera troubles, so I was having a hard time figuring it out. My brother had to walk me through it, but my brother was out of town because he lives 3 hours north, but he was in town for the weekend, so he showed me what was wrong, because Windows 10 fucked up how I upload these now to the computer. So I lost the video and then I found the video, but whatever. So I'm a little behind uploading these. Hopefully this will be uploaded before this weekend. Also, Captain America Civil War, going to the Oakdale at 1:10 a.m. with my buddy Ian. So meet us there if you're going to Oakdale. I definitely probably will not have this uploaded by then, but Civil War should be cool. I'm really pumped for that. So, alright, I'm going to quit rambling.